Hey guys, how's it going? It's Brianna. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. It is my first sit down video of 2024, so Happy New Year. It's to the point where it's like too late in the year to keep saying Happy New Year, but I want to be nice. It's our first conversation. Happy New Year. If you started watching me in 2023 or anytime before that, thank you so much if you watched any of my videos last year. Yeah, I'm excited to keep posting more different kinds of videos this year as well. Today I am still thinking about last year. So I wanted to do a concert wrapped, rating all of my concerts of last year. I did this video last year as well, and I really liked it, just getting to reflect on different shows that I went to and my experiences at them. So that's what we're doing again today. Let's get into some of my stats, some of my concert wrapped stats. Okay, so in the year 2023, I went to 17 shows. 4 of those were non-K-pop, 13 were K-pop. 3 of them were like repeated stops on the same tour, kind of. We'll get into that. It was also my first time seeing a show outside of America. I went to 4 shows in Seoul, so we'll talk about that as well. But it's interesting that all of my shows that were in America were all in California this year, probably because I knew that I had these like vacations to Korea lined up, so I wasn't really traveling in the States as much, or just timing didn't really work out. So now I want to do kind of a quick but also in-depth for each show, my experience, if I had any perks, all that stuff, favorite moments, and yeah, let's get into it. So the first show that I went to in 2023 was P1 Harmony. This was in Oakland for their Pioneer Tour, and it was maybe my third time seeing them, maybe my second. I think it was my third time. Yeah, it was my third time seeing them. This time I had one of the VIP packages with soundcheck and high touch, and that was it. I did end up going to that show alone, but met a ton of super cool girls in line for that show, and then we ended up sitting together during sound check, so got to spend a lot of time not alone, even though I went to the show alone. So always recommend doing that. Also met up with friends there, but in general, a super fun show. So my seat was on the balcony during the show, and I just think that their music in general just translates so well to a live show. It's just lots of just like hype songs that make you want to jump and dance and scream and sing.
Follow me, let's go. Everybody get down. Second foot, get down. Everyone get down. You ready? 5, 6, 7, go.
BFF was also really fun. It was just a fun little cute, easy concert experience. Overall, I have decided to do rankings. So this show was an 8. The next show that I went to was in March, and this is Extraordinary Heroes, and this was my first show in Korea. Woo! My first show outside of America. I saw them at the Soundberry Festival while I was in Seoul on vacation, and I like just posted my vlog from literally March 2023. So there's clips from that in there, so you could definitely go ahead and watch it. But that show was also just so fun. It was very low effort to just like experience. I'm obviously really used to American concert culture, particularly for like rock. That's like the genre that I would say I've seen the most shows of in my lifetime, and it was such a different experience, just like sitting through the whole show and like cheering like at parts and like kind of loud, kind of not loudly, singing along to some parts, all that stuff. Also, Extraordinary Heroes doesn't have a ton of fan chants also, so it's like there wasn't a ton of that either, but it's not like people were not having a good time. It was definitely like an enjoyable experience. I would also rate this one a 7, like a lovingly 7. I don't know, even giving like a 7, I'm like, that's a C. It's not high enough, but it's not low. The next show that I went to was in April, and this was back here in California in San Francisco. I went to go see Only One Of. This was my first time seeing them, and it was also my first time at this venue. It was at this theater that's like right near where Alcatraz is, so it's like right on the water. The show itself was really fun. Nothing too crazy. I am also a pretty casual fan of Only One Of. The tickets were really cheap, and they just have a few songs that I would die for, like Gaslighting. Oh my gosh. They have a few other songs that were so cool to see live, like Sage, which I have loved since it came out, and Savannah. Oh, come on. Ranking 7 for the Only One Of show. Next shows I went to were in May, and this was Yoongi's August D Suga tour. Suga August D. What was it called? I don't know. These shows were like my first favorite shows of the year. So I went to the 2 shows in Oakland in May, and they were just so much fun, and it was just so cool. It just felt like I was watching a performance. Yoongi is like one of my favorite people in K-pop, was one of my first alts. Love that guy, love him down. So seeing like Dang and like Cypher Part 4, literally the way that he incorporated like his solo songs, his solo songs, and then like his BTS songs, and then BTS songs in general. I just felt like it was so good. The way his the concert kind of had this like story arc that you could follow along. The way the stage like rose, or parts of the stage like rose as he went down, and then he was just like on the floor, like face to face with people. Very, very crazy. He had so many songs that were just so perfect to experience in that way. But I do feel like there are some songs, at least Yoongi's music, where it's like, listen to it in your headphones, you know, like laying on your bed kind of vibe. So day 1, GA, being in the pit, super great view, 10. Day 2, I was in the 100 section, also still a great view. The Oakland Arena just is one of those venues where it's like, if you're anywhere in the like 100s or the floor, you can see everything. So day 2, a 9. Would it have been a 10 if I was on the floor again? Yes. But anyways, love that guy. How's he doing? The next show I went to was the next month in June, and it was also in Oakland, and it was twice. It was my first, oh my gosh, my first girl group show of the year. My only girl group K-pop show of the year, and my first time seeing Twice. Full of hits. They had literally probably be one of the best set lists that I saw last year, because banger, 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 banger. The sections were good of the show, and their solos were good, all their solo performances. Also, they're all freaking gorgeous. Like, just all of the outfits and their faces, like, they were just fantastic. That show was very fun, very nice. I would say the crowd, that was my first time being in a Twice crowd, and they just like weren't that loud. Like, I don't know how to describe it, and maybe it's because like the last shows that I was at that venue were the Yoongi shows, where everyone was so loud. For Twice, people just like weren't screaming that much. In Set Me Free, they say Ready to Be, and that's the name of the tour. I was like, wait, you guys just, who put that there? So for my rating, I gave this one an 8 as well. Positive experience, loved it, loved it, loved it. Next shows that I went to were KCON. So this is my other, where it's like multiple shows of the same tour, but this is like a, I don't know, is KCON like a festival, convention? I do have a vlog that has probably all the people that I saw, but most importantly, I saw Taemin. So it's a 10. Also Wavy, Love Talk. Specifically Love Talk, because that was one where I think the energy of the arena, like, I don't think anyone was like sitting or like, I don't think anyone was touching a floor when they were singing Love Talk. Like, it was electric. Oh my god, I need it back so bad. It was so much fun. And then Taemin, I feel like my jaw was just on the floor just watching him. I do wish he played like, I don't know, 3 more songs. That is always my biggest kind of gripe with KCON, is that all of the artist sets are really short, but it's still such a long show. Because I'm like, sing. What are we doing? What are we doing? You know? That's how I feel, but every year. As a whole, I give it an 8. My biggest highlight was, of course, when Jacob and Kevin and Eric stood behind us in the pit during Passion Fruit and when we watched The Boys with the Boys. Kind of a crazy moment for me and my homegirls. The next show that I went to was Beyonce. Like, this, for me, like, yes, for me as a human, for me as a black girl, for me as an American, for me as a person. Also banger, 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 banger on that set list. Particularly because I just think that Renaissance as an album, as a moment, was just so great. So that being, what's it called? Kind of the way that that was translated on stage was just so cool to see. Overall, the show was amazing. We ended up getting like no view seats, so we couldn't see the main stage, and also we were like, it'll be fine because they always put little TVs on the side when you can't see. Tell me why the Santa Clara Levi Stadium just said, no, we're not gonna do that. Why would we do that? That would make sense. So yeah, we ended up sitting in our seat for like half the show, and then we ended up just standing kind of in the, what's it called, corridor, the place where like the merch and the food is, there for another half of the show so that we could see the screen. Yeah. But in general, amazing, amazing, amazing. It feels like an honor to watch living history. And I will say, not to flex on you guys, but I did see Taemin and Beyonce in the same month. Yeah. So, talk to me nice. Anyways, the Beyonce 9 would have been a 10 if I could see the screen the whole time. Not gonna lie. I would say the crowd was very into it, very participatory, and it felt like a fun experience to be a part of that crowd. Also, the outfits. Obviously, like, I'm just saying things that everyone knows, but like, that was a crowd. Those were some outfits. So yeah, super fun. Guys, hopefully one day I won't film at sunset. So please disregard the terrible lighting situation. The next show that I went to was the Jonas Brothers, and this was in September. Jonas Brothers were the first band that I was so obsessed with. They, like, me as a 13-year-old, you can tell me anything other than Nick, Joe, and Kevin. So I love that I got to see some of those songs live. I don't care for, I would say, most of their new album. Is it called The Album? Like, most of the songs on that. So it was kind of and it was something that you could sense in the audience that like a lot of people just didn't, and a lot of people may have just been there for kind of the nostalgia factor of their older music and them playing it. I would give this show a 6.75-ish, because it was that mix of like songs I really love and care about and want to see, and songs I was kind of like, you could play that, you could do that. It was kind of in the middle. I did love that they played Black Keys, because that's an underrated hit. But yeah, I also love that this show had an intermission. We need more concerts with intermissions, you know? Like, I need a little break. Next show that I went to was my first time seeing one of my favorite bands, and it was the band Camino. I saw them in San Francisco, and that show was so freaking good, and I think it's because I like so much of their music. I was in the balcony in this venue, and I could just see people like on the barricade screaming back the lyrics, and I just think that's my favorite thing ever. They have so many songs that are simply the best things I've ever heard, particularly See Through and Daphne Blue, which were like the last songs they did. A few songs from their new album I became like so obsessed with, like Novocaine and Afraid of the Dark. Also Haunted, like literally they just have another artist where I feel like their music is perfect for a live setting. So really, really love that show. I ranked it a 9. So in November, I went to LA for a work conference, but then I ended up going to 2 concerts that weekend. I saw Eric Nam and The Maine. So I'm trying to remember. I think I saw Eric Nam first. Let's talk about Eric Nam first. I think that Eric Nam is great at like stage banter, kind of like stand-up comedy vibes. And his music, I think there are like some songs that are so fun live, but I think there are some where I just don't feel like they translate the best live. The show was cool. I think it was still a good show. And Jamie Miller opened, and his voice is like so good. But overall, a little bit forgettable. Like as I was making this list, I forgot that I went. So I did give it a 6.5. Sorry, buddy. And then the show on the next day was The Maine, and The Maine is another one of my favorite bands. If I did my calculations correctly, this is my 20th time seeing them, which is crazy. That's a lot. This is a fun show because I brought my friend Kika with me, and she also enjoyed the show. You know, and you're like, please come with me, but also please have fun. And luckily she did, and it was awesome. But something else that I really love about the Maine shows is that John is really intentional about like, just like let yourself go, experience this moment. It doesn't matter who's around you, no one's looking at you, just have fun, like just be here and experience it. And I really appreciate that, and it's really like easy to just get in your head when you're at shows or just in life, and it's just a very positive concert experience every single time I see them. So anytime they're on the little road, I will be at the little show. I will give this show an 8. Also, parking. This was at the House of Blues in Anaheim, and it was my first time there in that kind of, I don't know, is that City Walk? Whatever it's called, that kind of area. But our parking only ended up being $3, which is fantastic. Maybe the cheapest I've ever paid for parking in Southern California ever, legally. Okay, so we've made it to my last shows of 2023, and these were The Boys in Seoul, the 3 Generation Encore shows that I went to in December. 10. Experiencing a K-pop concert in Korea where the artist has like their local team that they work with, like, you know, every time they put on a show, or kind of like their sound people and the lighting and all these stuff. Like I feel like it just blended together so beautifully, like the whole venue. And also Korean concerts are like it's 8 o'clock, they're on stage, like it's like 7, doors are open, you're walking inside, they're handing you your slogan, you know where your seat is. Like it's like bam bam bam. It's gorgeous, it's amazing. America could never. So that was really cool. Also just like meeting and interacting with K-Dobies was so fun. They just like had such cute freebies and like buying like slogans and all this stuff. It was just such overall a fun experience. The first day we really went into the fan of it all. We bought merch and we just hung out around the venue, met people, talked to people, all of it. First show was a 9.5. Also, I have a vlog of this, so also not gonna go too into depth. Day 2 was a 9 for me personally, because I have never, this is the craziest thing that's ever happened to me. I was almost falling asleep during the concert because of jet lag. It was so crazy. I was like, I would literally rather be 0 other places on this planet, and my eyes were like closing. But it was so annoying because it's like everyone was sitting down. I'm like, if I could just stand up and do like 3 jumping jacks or just like splash water on my face, I'd be awake. It only lasted for like probably 2 songs, but that's 2 songs too many. So yeah, for that, a 9. That was on me. That was just on me. My body. How dare you? And then the last show, which was day 3, which was just the most special concert of my life. Up until this point, like all of the fan projects, Hagnan being in the audience and them like talking to him and then bringing him on stage for the pictures, and then they sang Survive the Night, and then they did a real encore and came out again and sang Timeless. Oh, there was just so much to that show that made it just the most special night ever. So that one is a 10. And then literally as we were waiting for them, as they were like finishing up and before they left the venue, all of the people were just like still around at the back of the venue, and that's when they like opened their Instagrams and everyone was just like screaming. It was just such a fun, just like full day. So yeah, that one is a full 10 out of 10. Those were all of the shows that I went to, and I just had such a great time, such a great year. Love a little show, obviously. That's my video. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you went to any concerts this year, what your favorites were, favorite moments. And yeah, if you're going to concerts in 2024, let me know which ones. I would love, like I mentioned, to see Extraordinary Heroes. I feel like they're gonna come on tour in America this year. I really, really, really want to see Troye Sivan. He's like one of my favorite artists, and I've never seen him perform ever. So would love that. If you're going to any shows in 2024, don't forget your earplugs. Okay, that's it for this video. Like it if you liked it, subscribe if you feel like it. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.